or on Andray Blatche. And same with Dio Campo. And the Makoto didn't play in the quarterfinal game, but
Championships Blatche. Hontiveiros. Into Blatche again. Blatche looking to drive against a route towards the baseline, pulls back and nails the first shot, the first points of the game.
He's just been a little bit quieter the last couple of games, and the Philippines would love to see him splash a couple of triples.
Driving against Blatche down the baseline and finishing. Quickest players on show here. Back to Blatche. He's going to shoot a three now. He's going to nail a three. Hirose. Now Tabuse. Into Takeuchi. There's Tabuse to Takeuchi. He loves that shot. On to Tabuse. Here's Takeuchi. Final 5 seconds of the shot clock. Hirose, lovely pass to leave our round.
Happy, but it is a key for the Philippines. If they're getting locked into the half court, they've got to make some jump shots.
Here's a Bueva who's just come into the game. Blatche will tip it back, and he has all 7 of the Philippines' points.
And he's being a monster.
Blatche. Here is Castro. Around the big frame of Blatche, finding a pass towards a Bueva who flips it in off the glass.
Like that one.
Furukawa. Hiejima going to put up the long two. Nothing but net for him.
And that's just high IQ basketball.
3 minutes of the first quarter. We are level at 9, and it goes towards Blatche again. Blatche looking to bundle his way through a heap of bodies and puts it in. Andray Blatche has 9 points and 5
for Andray Blatche already. He's got 9 points as well. And he's keeping the Philippines with their noses in front.
Bueva, one thought in mind as he drives in and attacks the hole.
Athletic finish.
Here's Hiejima. Tabuse getting to the foul line, getting away and putting it in.
Hesitation dribble and then blew by him to the left hand.
There's Romeo, another player who's lightning quick. He can shoot the 3 too, and he can knock down the 3. Japan could get within 1 or maybe tie the game in the final minute of the first quarter. Hashimoto. Furukawa puts up the long 2. The Philippines with less time to work with. Up against Andray Blatche, he pulls up for the long 2, and he gets the long 2. Leading the way for Japan with 6 points. Andray Blatche will start this second quarter on the bench for the Philippines.
Or will they capitulate a little bit like they did earlier in the tournament, where they left too much work for the starters to do? As they get logged in the half court, they seem to run out of ideas.
Furukawa from the foul line puts it up. Can't finish. Offensive board for Takeuchi.
Have your stars, your better players, trying to create the shots.
Romeo was open on the perimeter as well. Here's Hiejima getting inside and finishing.
Ball moving. And we might see the Philippines into a zone sometime soon if this continues.
Not scored in over 4 minutes. And Castro says no more of that. Looking to attack again inside this time, forced away to the perimeter. He's going to go one-on-one with Tanaka, spinning into the lane, getting it to rattle around and drop. Japan, Castro to inbound here for the Philippines. They lead by just 2. Here's Blatche, hands it off to Romeo. Castro, he's going to pull up for another 3-pointer. He's going to knock down another 3-pointer. Jason Castro has come to play.
His stats in the 9 minutes he's been on court as we watch him splash a triple. The Philippines have outscored Japan by 8 points.
Trying to get away from Bueva. And that's easier said than done. To the foul line, pulls up and gets another one to go. To Takeuchi, off to Hiejima. Up against Norwood now. Takeuchi looking to set the screen. Takeuchi puts up the long 2 and puts it in. Hiejima. Hirose. 6 seconds to work with as the ball goes on to Otta. And it goes towards Hiejima. Strong move as he rolls away from Romeo and puts it in off the glass.
And the Philippines switching a lot of screens, but eventually Japan able to identify the mismatch, and it was Hiejima against the undersized Romeo.
Swarming around him. Moves it on to Del Campo, back to Blatche. Looking to shoot the 3, goes behind the back instead, then hangs it up short. Norwood able to recover. Castro right at the end of the shot clock, off the mark. Offensive ball for Blatche again. Now he's trying to bully it into the basket. And how about that from the big man? Otta hands it back to Hiejima. Hiejima dribbles it off his leg and Del Campo snatches it up. And here come the Philippines in transition.
Nice
back
pass.
to Blatche for the big dunk. Roll towards the baseline from Hiejima. How about this performance in the first half from Hiejima, who has a chance to hit 20 points?
Well, I don't know what the Philippines scouting report said about Hiejima, but I think right now it should say double team because he's unstoppable. If the defender drops off,
By 6. De Campo across to Hontiveiros, who gets it to rattle around and drop, but there's plenty of contact underneath. Berth when he's got the ball. De Campo. Hontiveiros to De Campo, back to Castro. Going to drive inside. There's the spin move, finds Abueva, little hesitation. Beautiful job to get that one to go. At the three-point line, then drives away from Abueva. Unable to get it to go over the top of De Campo. Castro. Hontiveiros for 3. Back-to-back threes.
he's just a natural basketball talent.
Here he is now up against Blatche. Final minute of the first half. Takeuchi out to the perimeter to Hirose. He's going to shoot the 3, way off the mark. Hiejima grabs the rebound, and it's an inevitable response from Hiejima.
He is omnipresent at the...
Directing traffic. Finds Blatche. Blatche looking to get inside, bundles his way towards the basket, and he somehow finds a way to force...
Campo, that's twice in that second quarter where he pulled a block shot out of nowhere. Much better set though. Lovely pass from Dio Campo, and Blatche has just got to be aggressive and finish it.
Tabuse driving in and getting contact from Castro. Tabuse. Blatche lurking on the perimeter. Hontiveiros instead going to put it up. 3 from downtown for Don Hontiveiros. Time pulls up. Misses the 2. De Campo now to get the Philippines moving in transition. Here comes Castro. Nobody moves faster than him. Short. Rebound Hiejima.
That could have been a big shot for the Philippines.
And in towards Tabuse. How about the pass from Hiejima?
He is doing everything tonight. It was a no-look pass. He completely threw Andray Blatche, and he found the little man under the basket.
We're level again at 44. Norwood handling the ball. Castro pulls up for a 3. Nothing but net for Jason Castro.
And he's got 13.
Of Blatche up against Furukawa. Hontiveiros pointing to the corner, moves it on himself. Castro for another 3.
Oh,
bang!
my goodness.
Jason Castro has 4 from downtown.
Much time here in the third quarter.
Let's see if Japan can reel them back in. Tabuse onto Arao. Here's Takeuchi with the long 2. He is so accurate from that distance.
And we often talk about how does he...
Furukawa towards the baseline. Good burst of pace, can't get the finger roll. Blatche releasing Norwood here. Norwood going all the way to the hole. Hiejima. Castro looking to pick off the ball and has done. He's got away from 2. Castro going all the way, laying it up and in. To Abueva. Blatche calling for the ball inside up against Takeuchi, trying to hand it back to Abueva. Picked off. Here comes Hiejima. He's going to pull up for the mid-ranger.
Oh, no
able to put it in. He almost lost it.
I think Abueva got a...
Backing in towards Takeuchi, out towards Hontiveiros. Pingris setting the screen. Castro trying to make himself available. Instead, Hontiveiros is just going to put it up. And Hontiveiros has hit 4 from downtown here today. Castro. Castro looking to drive onto the left, onto the right, onto the left.
Oh,
off
my
the
goodness.
backboard. Oh, my. He's the most electrifying man in Asian basketball right now.
This year, only 2 Japanese players had scored in double figures. Takeuchi and Hiejima. It's the same story tonight.
Furukawa free under the hoop after the feed from Takeuchi.
Hiejima, there was 3 blue shirts surrounding him as he drove into the paint.
Hontiveiros. Here's Norwood on the baseline, fizzes it to the corner. Castro around to De Campo for 3. Big blow that from the Philippines to double the lead to 6.
Either. Perhaps they're better to try and go for a speed mismatch at the other end and see if they can exploit that.
Blatche puts it up from mid-range and puts it in.
Goodness.
He looks for a passage into the lane. He says, no, I'll just back up and take on the shot and knock it down. Tanaka answers back with 1 for Japan. Point of the 4th quarter. Romeo into Blatche. Blatche onto Pingris. Pingris high off the glass, gets the drop.
I think they need Tabuse and Castro back in just to give a little bit more direction to the offense.
Hontiveiros from the outside. It's a 5-star show from downtown for Hontiveiros.
Can
7-point deficit now for Japan. Final 3 minutes. Otter looking to back in and go to work against Pingris and able to get it to go. Final 2.5 minutes. Del Campo to Castro, onto Hontiveiros. He's looking for a sixth. Put back in off the offensive glass by Del Campo.
Now can he get his hot hand back at the other end?
Final minute and a half. Can Japan keep their gold medal hopes alive? Takeuchi, left unguarded. Norwood picking it off. What a big defensive play from him. Here's Castro, out to Hontiveiros. Six-shooter, Don Hontiveiros nails it from the outside. Too much Filipino firepower, and they're blowing their way to the final.
Well, what a shot. What about the confidence of Castro to pull up the fast break, dish it off to his hot shooter.
Talk about the non-superstar stepping up. Blatche behind the back, looking to bully his way to the board. Back into the game for the final 50 seconds. 10-point deficit for Japan. Hiejima. Blatche trying to swat it, touched back in by Takeuchi. Makes it an 8-point game, but Japan can feel the gold medal slipping away. They can feel the silver medal slipping away. They'll have the chance tomorrow to go for bronze against Iran, but it's the Philippines that'll be heading towards back-to-back finals. Look at the razzle and dazzle from Blatche to put the exclamation mark on the win in style.
And Castro with the steal. He had the assist to Blatche. He gets the steal, and he's going to dribble the clock out. How fitting for a man who drove this team for 3 quarters before his teammates jumped on board.
And how fitting a final it will be on this court tomorrow. The Philippines are back there, and a chance to go one step further than they did in Manila 2 years ago as they look to face the host China for the gold medal.